So I've always been a guy who was just like very action oriented. Put me in a position, show me how to do it, and then I just go, right? And then the results come in as they come in, right? So if I break some barriers, great. If I create some records, cool. If I win some plaques, great. Win some trips, cool. Like it just came along with me just doing my job, right? And never has it been systematic where it's like, oh, okay, I won this trip, or I achieved these particular results because I executed on our plan, right? I followed A, B, and C to the T. It's never been that way. And with me not having a plan or never operating from that, it really hasn't taken me where I've wanted to go. It really hasn't given me the results that I've been looking for. In fact, it's kept me in the same spot that I've been in. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Surface podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in and tapping in with me yet once again. I've noticed that there's a pattern around me. Okay. There's a pattern around me. Almost every job or every opportunity that I've ever been given or got myself into, about at the 1 year mark, I end up either leaving on my own terms or being forced out for whatever reason. Right. And I noticed that my MO is to operate without a plan. Like literally just lean on sheer willpower. That's been my MO since I can remember. I've never been a kid, a young teen, an adult who has ever really relied or taken the, comfort of planning, right? Using systems other than what was given, to me to perform the job. I never created these things for myself to kind of guide me as to the results I was wanting to get. And so I've always been a guy who was just like very action oriented. Put me in a position, show me how to do it, and then I just go, right? And then the results come in as they come in, right? So if I break some barriers, great. If I create some records, cool. If I win some plaques, great. Win some trips, cool. Like it just came along with me just doing my job, right? And never has it been systematic where it's like, oh, okay, I won this trip, or I achieved these particular results because I executed on our plan, right? I followed A, B, and C to the T. It's never been that way. And with me not having a plan or never operating from that, it really hasn't taken me where I've wanted to go. It really hasn't given me the results that I've been looking for. In fact, it's kept me in the same spot that I've been in. And this is all awareness that has come to fruition in the last couple of days, really just reflecting on, my pattern that I've realized that I have. And it's just, it's I don't know, doing a lot of journaling in the last couple of days, just kind of reflecting on just where I'm at in life in general, and more so why these transitionings keep happening to me. And honestly, part of me wonders if I'm creating this pattern, like always chasing the next big opportunity, the next big paycheck, whatever. Like, am I the reason why these transitions keep happening? I honestly want to believe that the universe is in play, and the universe is putting me in these positions because it's it's helping me elevate. It's helping me level up to where I need to be to get the results that I want to get out in life, right? Big term. And so I want to believe that, but I'm also not naive either, right? And so I take responsibility for things that happen in my life, right? I don't ever blame external circumstances or individuals or whatever. So I take responsibility, and so that's why when I was journaling, I'm like, okay, hold on, like I want to believe that the universe is doing this and that these are happening for a reason, but I'm also like, bro, are you creating these? Are you putting yourself in these situations? I don't know. And so either way, I mean, with me journaling and coming to this awareness of myself, it's helped me come to the realization that I need to commit more effort, more than I've ever done for anything in my life. And it's helped me kind of hone in that I need to get laser focused, like, and bring, like I said, more effort, be more tenacious in my effort. Anything that I've ever achieved in my life has just been a result, for the most part, has been a result of me putting in enough effort. Now, I can't put that on a scale, right? Because maybe my minimum effort for someone else is like their maximum effort, right? And vice versa. So I'm just speaking for myself. But for me, and what I've come to understand in my life is that minimum effort for me, I probably get more than average results, if that's a way we can look at it, right? And so it's less like there have only been, I'm trying to think if there's ever been some things in my life where I'm put like a lot of effort into. I think at the beginning of my life insurance kind of career, coming into a new, company or whatever, I think at that point in time, I did put in a lot of effort, which, it consisted of a lot of, training and asking questions and working early and staying late, things of that nature. So, but it wasn't sustained, right? Because it didn't need to be sustained, because you then get to a point where you build up your skill set, and then you really don't need to put in as much effort as you did in the beginning, because you're kind of past the learning curve, right? So to speak, because in reality, if you want to sustain those results and increase those results, then you still need to increase your effort, your level of effort, right? Unless you found a way to be more effective and more efficient, and you don't have to put so much effort into it, right? So, but yeah, I just realized that my biggest problem, it isn't my skills or the opportunities that I've been presented. It's my lack of like real consistent planning. I told you before in the beginning, I'm not a planner. I tried, you know what I mean? I've tried. And when I say a planning, I mean like, let's just use, if whatever job you're doing, right? Like if you want to make X amount of money, or you want to have X amount of sales, or you want to have X amount of dials or whatever, right? I've never been a guy to like track that stuff. I just show up and work, and then whatever happens. And it works for a while. Like you get results from it, but you never reach the destination that you foresee in your mind, because you don't know where you're going. You're kind of just hoping that you just land there through your efforts. And for me, that has been my biggest downfall in anything I've ever done, is not having any type of goal or plan of action of how I'm going to get there. What are the systems that I have in place to help me get the results that I want to get? And so this time I'm doing something different. This time I'm building structure around what it is I'm doing. I'm building structure around my level of effort, because, you can only go around the merry-go-round so many times before you get sick, right? And so it's like I've gone around the merry-go-round more than I would like, and I still end up next to the merry-go-round. Like I'm still here, and it's obviously not necessarily where I would like to be. And so this time I'm going to do something different. And I'm not going to be honest with you. I'm afraid. I'm a little afraid. And it wasn't tough for me to come to that understanding. It was a little scary to say, I guess, out loud, that what I'm afraid of is that I have this momentum in the beginning because, you're either you start something new, you have these moments of motivation and inspiration, and it fires you up, and right, and you have this renewed sense of, like, I don't know, energy or whatever. And so, but I'm afraid that at some point that's going to taper off, right? Whether it be like a couple of days or it be like a few weeks. I'm afraid that the ferociousness, the tenacity, the extreme level of effort that I want to put into something for the next 90 days, I'm afraid that I'm going to end up reverting back to that comfort level, that average effort that I've been operating from. So what I've done is, when I was journaling yesterday and reflecting on my life, I wrote down, why it is that I wanted to increase my level of effort moving forward. And then more importantly, I wrote down what are some of the things, or all of the things, that can, will, or may go wrong or stop me from maintaining that level of effort into whatever it is that I'm doing. And so I made a list. I made a list of all the things that would impede on that effort that I want to put forth. And then on the next page, I wrote out all the solutions to those things that would stop me from maintaining that level of effort. So I pretty much journaled. I got real detailed as to, again, the problem and the solution. And then with those solutions, I made sure that I didn't just write it out. I put it into action, right? I made it real. And so one of the things, for me anyway, is I've noticed that what helps me stay focused, stay on track when it comes to completing goals is, one, I need a visual. Number two, I need an audio. Okay, so let me break this down. So for me, it helps me so much when I can repeatedly visualize the things that I want. Okay, so I've always had a vision board, and I thought they were always great, kind of like manifestation pieces and kind of things to really hone you in. What I realized for myself is that all of the photos that I've ever had on a vision board, I was never really emotionally connected to any of those things, right? Like, I had like pictures of Mykonos, Greece on there, right? For me, Mykonos, going to Greece is not an emotionally connected desire for me. Like, if I don't go to Greece, I don't care. I put it up there because I'm like, I would like to go to Greece. It'd be cool. But if I don't go, I don't care. It's not something like I have to, like, it's not a burning desire of mine. And I noticed that a lot of the things that I put up there for the visuals on the vision board were things like that, where it was like, it'd be cool to have, but I don't, like, whatever, you know what I mean? And so I was like, okay, I need to make a change to the vision board, because clearly this isn't working how it's probably intended to work. So what I did was I took everything off my vision board, wiped it clean, and I threw away literally everything that was on there. I started from scratch. And I ChatGPT'd this, and I was just kind of asking, like, okay, if I feel like I'm not emotionally connected to my vision board, then what should I be putting on? What should I do? And it gave me, like, you need to put things on there that will get you emotionally connected when you see them. And I started thinking about all the visions and the daydreams that I usually have, that I've always had. And for me, my biggest burning desire is to give to others, to see them smile, to give them experiences. And so what I put on my vision board this time, it's not a crowded vision board. I didn't really care. My goal was not to like fill out every crack and crevice of my vision board. My sole purpose in creating the new vision board was to put things on there that when I looked at them, it like either brought me to tears, it brought me back to a memory, a vision I had. And so on my vision board right now, I have a picture of my kids, okay? And then around them, I have all the things that I literally want to do for them, right? So I have like a picture of our mall that we go to here in Chandler, Arizona. Like literally the picture of the inside of the mall, right? So it's real to me. I've been there. I've been in those stores before, right? I have a picture of the Lakers logo. My son is a huge NBA fan, and so he wants to go to a Lakers game. So I have a picture of a Lakers game on there. I have, what else did I have them for them? My son's never been to the beach for some reason, and he's 12, but whatever. So I have a picture of Mission Bay, which is in San Diego, which I've been there. So I also have a picture of my ex-wife and the kids together, right? And I literally have a check with my bank, my routing, my account number, voided out, and I have it written out to my ex-wife, and it's a payment for $5,000 to pay her mortgage payment, right? For a couple months, whatever. The things that I have on there, they're real. These are people that I know, that I see every day, that I love, right? That I care for, that I want to do nice things for. In the middle of my vision board, it's myself. It's a picture of myself. I just came back from the gym. My body was banging, like it was looking good, right? And I want to get physically back to that, right? Around me is so I want to move at some point. I want to live in a condo or an apartment that has like wall to ceiling glass where I can overlook like either the mountains or downtown Phoenix. Well, I found an apartment or a condo in downtown Phoenix. So I got pictures of a 2-bedroom, 2-bath layout, the balcony, the actual view of Phoenix, right? The layout of the condo. What else is on there? There was something else in there. So I have actual photos, and then I'm going to be printing out the name of the actual building. So why am I telling you? Because these things that I'm seeing on my vision board, I can physically touch. There's a connection to them, right? And that's what I was missing from my previous vision board. It was just a bunch of things that I thought were like, yeah, I would love to have this tattoo. I would love to travel to this place. I would love to, do these things, have these things. But it wasn't like, they were just items. They were just, one of those was like a photo shoot. It was some dude dressed in some clothes that I like, but I'm like, I don't even, you know what I mean? Like it'd been better if it was just me dressed in those clothes, but whatever. So anyway, I just got realistic with my vision board, and I just got to make sure that I create this habit of viewing it and not just like staring at it for a couple seconds and then getting to where I'm talking about. Like I need to like take a couple minutes to like focus and like eternalize the feeling and the emotion that I would get from walking into that condo, living in that condo, to the feeling I would get to taking my kids to the mall and telling them to buy whatever they want, to the feeling that I could write a check to my ex and just help her relieve her stress and because I want to do it out of the kindness of my heart. I need to visualize. I need to eternalize that emotional connection that I would have to doing those things. And so that's one thing that I did. Number 2, I recorded my vision. So on my phone, I recorded exactly what it is that I want my life to look like. And so my goal is, right, which I'm going to do, and I started today, I will wake up every morning after prayer and I will play my voice of that recording And I'll listen to that every single day. And then I'll go to my vision board and I will take some time there to just visualize everything. And my goal is to, with doing that, is to make sure that I'm present and that I'm just reminding myself each and every day of what it is I want. What is it I want, right? It's like your reticular activating system, right? A great example that people use is when you see a car that you really like, you end up seeing that car literally everywhere you go. It's everywhere, right? Well, it's because your mind is focused on obtaining that or getting that thing. And so you begin to see it everywhere you go. And I have always written down goals, but they've been lost. I don't even know where half the stuff is. It's in one of these notebooks in my closet somewhere because I write it out and then that's all I do. And I never put any plan of action to it. I never look at it over and over again. I never read it every single day. So I'm doing something different because I know I don't want to go down this path, keep going down this path of not getting the results I want. So I need to put some things in place. I need to take responsibility and put some things in place for me that are going to help aid me into staying laser focused on what it is that I'm trying to accomplish. I also purchased a large whiteboard. Now, as you guys know, I mentioned this thousands of times. I love me a whiteboard. Look, I'm telling you right now, when I get, either a home or whatever, condo, whatever it is, at some point, I want to make half of my wall is going to be straight whiteboard. And I want to go to town on that baby so much. Bro, I love writing out processes and okay, what are we going to do? Visualize, I just love a whiteboard. So anyway, I purchased a whiteboard and I'm going to start keeping tracks of my stats and goals for the week, right? Daily goals. What am I going to do? And I told you guys before, I'm afraid this is going to be a little difficult. I'm afraid that I'm not going to be able to sustain this intensity for the next 90 days when I do start this. And then I'm going to be able to I'm going to fall back to the good enough, to the average effort, and it scares me a little bit. I'm putting these things in place because I'm trying to prevent that from happening. I'm trying to avoid that from taking place. And it's going to be tough. It's definitely going to be tough. But I know I can do it. And I'm not going to be hard on myself if I fall off the wagon, right? So, if I find myself being consistent for a couple of days and then whatever, I get lazier, whatever happens, I lose focus and then I don't read, I don't listen to my voice message, or I don't visualize on the vision board. I'm not going to be hard on myself. I'm just going to immediately become aware of it as soon as I possibly can and get right back on the horse. Okay. And for a lot of you guys that may be in similar situations where, you haven't created boundaries or plans or whatever, and you're trying something new and you want to be consistent at it, don't be hard on yourself. If you fall off, it's all right. The most important thing is getting back on and keep on trying. Because at some point, you're going to create enough momentum to where, 5 days is going to turn into 10. 10 is going to turn into 20. 20 is going to turn into 45, and by the time you know it, you're, a couple months in and you've been doing whatever it is you're doing, going to the gym, eating right, speaking positive to yourself, being kind to your wife or others, very consistently, to where this is engraved in you, and you now have a new habit that you've formed. So again, I'm gonna fight this stuff. I'm designing reminders around everything, habits and systems in place to make sure that I stay accountable to myself. And it's gonna be interesting to kind of see as I journal along how this next 90 days goes with implementing everything. But I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be good. I'm a person of perseverance. So I think I'll manage. As you guys know, I always like to do some takeaways because, again, I don't want to just sit here and ramble. I want you guys to actually have some steps that you guys can, implement in your lives and create your own processes from my experiences and just things of that nature. So first one here is that patterns will repeat until you break them. I literally just told you this has been my pattern. I'll be 40 in August. This has been my pattern, I don't know, for the last 20-something years, probably 20-something years. And if you keep ending up in the same place, it's probably a good signal. It's probably a sign if you keep ending up with the same results, you keep dating the same people, it's probably a sign that you need to pivot one way or the other, right? And I think the hardest thing for people is reaching that level of awareness to where before it's too late. I think a lot of people do become aware of their, we'll say, downfall, if you will. But it's not until like they've hit the lowest of the lows, right? Before they're like, okay, something needs to change. Like I do need to change this, right? But yeah, like if you don't create that change, you're gonna still continue with the same results that you've been getting. And obviously, as you know, for whatever you guys, whatever you believe in, whether it's spirituality or God or whatever, like that entity, right, is going to continue to push you until you listen. And I think that is I want to believe that is what's happening for me, where things just keep happening, transitionings keep happening for me. And not that I want them to, but I think it's a lesson that I am still yet to learn. And I hopefully that this time around, I'm awake now. My eyes are open. My ears are perked up. Like I'm listening. Like, okay, you've been trying to tell me this for forever ago, and I wasn't ready to hear it. I always thought that I can get away with the level of effort that I put in would be good enough, and I'd reach the pinnacle. I'd reach wherever I wanted to, but it's not. So I have to make a shift, and I will make a shift. And yeah. So the second takeaway is that willpower alone will not save you. I've used willpower all my life. Again, it works to a certain extent, right? It will push you through negativity. It will push you through failure. It will. But you will burn out because it's like being on a hamster on a hamster wheel. You're just churning and burning, right? And you're constantly going, and you're constantly going, and you're constantly using energy within yourself, and you're going to burn yourself out. And action without a plan obviously leads to burnout. So I never really focus on any type of plan. I just assumed that I would get there through the level of effort that I was putting forth. And without any types of systems or daily anchors to aid you, right? Like your success is not going to be there, or at least not to the degree in which you want it to be. So you definitely have to have some systems in place. And seeing people in the past that have naturally, they're like systems people. They love numbers, right? They love metrics and things of that nature. Like those guys, they typically reach their results or get very, very close or have better results than me, because like they know the trajectory. They know what numbers they need to hit to create the results that they want. And number 3, I would tell you, is to design your environment to anchor you. And that's exactly what I'm doing through the vision board and the audio and the whiteboard, right? Like I'm designing anchors around me to keep me grounded, to keep me laser focused on what it is that I'm trying to accomplish. Because it gets very easy. It's very easy for you to get down the rabbit hole, right? Or be complacent in monotony because you're doing something over and over again, and you lose sight of like the big picture. Because now you're just in the race, right? You're in the race. And so creating the audio reminders for myself, the visual triggers, right, through the vision board, the physical systems, just trusting my process and not necessarily my mood, trusting the process. No matter how I feel, no matter what's going on around me, stick to leaning into my faith, stick to journaling, stick to prayer, stick to meditating, stick to working out, making sure that my mind and my body and my soul are connected, right? And make sure I'm eating right. Like all of these things help. All of these things encompass your path to your results, your path to your success. And, I just felt like in this episode, I just wanted to really kind of share with you guys, what's been transpiring for me, not even just in the last couple of days, but just really how how I've been operating in life. And I just, it's a part of life, man. A lot of us probably don't think that we never say like, oh, I want it to be here. I wanted to understand these things this late. I didn't. I wish I would have known everything in the beginning. I wish I would have known everything when I was just joining the military, when I just got out, when I was 22 years old, 21 years old. But we all know that's just not how life works. You have to, go through the fire. You have to learn by your mistakes. And a lot of us are going to make a lot of mistakes. And even if you do have that high awareness of for yourself, you're probably still going to end up making some mistakes. Less likely detrimental than what you would have if you didn't have the awareness or the knowledge. But it's just part of life. And I'm okay with that. I'm all right with that because I'd rather know now than in another year or another 10 years. And so, I've been given the ability, we've all been given the ability, and hopefully, the opportunity each day to change things for ourselves. And so that's what I'm choosing to do now. I'm choosing to listen to what, I'm choosing to listen to the message that has been sent to my phone every single day for the last 20 something years. And now I'm ready to listen. I'm ready to listen. So, if you keep seeing yourself in the same place, you keep feeling that door is always closing on you. Maybe it's not rejection, right? Maybe it's redirection. So just ask yourself, am I really prepared to commit to changing things? Am I really prepared to make some changes? What systems do I have to sustain my drive? What do I need to put in place? Who do I need to talk to? What do I need to unlearn? What do I need to learn to get myself on the straight and narrow, to create the results that I want, right? Because consistency is built on design. It's not built on desire. So you got to be very tactful in how you move and how you operate and what you do in this world, because just desiring something alone isn't enough to get you there, right? We have to be very finite and particular in our actions. And I'm going to keep moving forward, even though it's super uncomfortable. I have no choice. I got people that depend on me. I have a son that depends on me. I got responsibilities. We all have bills. It's just I don't have a choice to mope around and complain as to why I'm not where I'm at. No. I'm choosing to use the energy that I have for the greater good, to think positive, to create, right? To create the results and to create the opportunities that I need and want, rather than, again, moping around, being negative about it, blaming external circumstances, blah, 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 blah. I don't have time for that, right? So if you've, like I said, if this message resonates with you, or you know someone that operates the same way as me or is just going through a hard time, please share this episode with them. I'm sure they would greatly appreciate it. I'm sure they would be looking forward to a transition in their life. If you have not already, if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. I appreciate your support. If you are listening to this on the podcast, please leave a review. I would love to try and inspire and help as many people as possible, transform their lives, help them, think differently, and really want to make a change for themselves and those that they love. So again, I appreciate your guys' time. And, as I always say, we'll see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.